And at the time with band, it wasn't just GATE students, it was like all of the students at that school were in the same band. And so I met Elizabeth, we became fast friends, both of us were playing the flute. And then in junior high, because I went to a different elementary school, 5th and 6th grade, I didn't end up going to the same junior high as Lynn, my best friend, and so I ended up at a different junior high, the rival junior high, in fact, and I was an outcast. So during the summer after 6th grade, Elizabeth met or became friends with someone that lived down the street from her, and for some reason she didn't like me. I don't know why. Maybe one day I'll find her on Facebook or something and ask her why, but she didn't really like me, and so I was outcast, and I wandered my junior high, kind of floating. I floated, kind of chit-chatted with all different groups of people during my 7th grade year, and then these twins, Lindsay and Aaron, moved into town, and Elizabeth was showing them around, and she introduced the twins to me, and then the twins and I became fast friends. And anyways, that's my social life, really. Me becoming fast friends with people, and then being ditched for other friends, and then having to deal with it and cope. But, you know, during all of that time in high school, similar things had happened too, where, you know, show up freshman year, and the twins, Lindsay and Aaron, met new friends over the summer, and then I wasn't cool enough to hang with the cool kids, so here I am, outcasted again. That's actually how I met Raina and Avani and some of my other friends during high school. I know Raina and I bonded during PE. We both had friends that were just, we've grown apart, or they have their own new set of friends, and we just didn't really fit in, and so we became fast friends that way. And then we hung out with Avani and Priya and Shireen and some others. And so, yeah, that just kept repeat. Name more friends. You know, I started working at a really young age. So right when I turned 15, when you can get a worker's permit, I actually started working. My mom got me my first job, got me a worker's permit, and I worked at the company that she worked at the time, for just over the winter break at first, and I believe we also worked during spring break, or was it summer? I can't remember exactly, but you know, my first job ever was kind of a warehouse job making boxes. We made boxes for these, what are those things? Diabetics use them to test like their blood sugar or whatever. We made boxes for shipping those. So that was my very first job, and my very first paycheck that I got from that job, I went and bought a stuffed dog for my sister because she really wanted a dog, and so did I. But my parents were kind of against us having pets. You know, I was 15 at that time. And then I decided I really wanted a car when I turned 16. And so I was very determined. My parents signed me up for driver's ed, driving instructor, all that good stuff. Got my learner's permit or whatever. And my mom we lived maybe like 2 miles, a couple miles from Golfland, where you drive down this back road to get to Golfland, this, mini golf and arcade. And my mom would sometimes come home from work and be busy needing to cook, and she'd be like, here are the car keys, go pick up your brother from Golfland. So me, 15, learner's permit, not even having my license yet, but my mom sent me to go pick up my brother from Golfland. So if she only knew that Golfland, the cops loved hanging at Golfland. But I guess I was, I've always been a big girl. So I guess, my driving was not too shabby. And being on the bigger side, the cops never questioned me picking up my brother, despite me not being of age to actually have my license yet. So, but yeah, I remember distinctly doing that a few times. Although if you ever ask my mom, she'd be like, no, I never asked you to do that. You never did that. Yes, Mom, I did. You did, and I did. So I have my brother Tony to vouch for me that happened. But yeah, so very determined child, since I had so much practice driving before I took my license, my driver's license test. I was actually really mad. So on my birthday, my 16th birthday, was when I had scheduled to take my driver's license test. And then, of course, my dad had said if I passed, we'd go and pick out a car for me. And then I would have to just pay him the monthly payments and all of that. And so, took the driver's test. I passed. I thought I was going to get 100%. I was actually really mad. I think I got either a 94 or 96. The driving instructor who was conducting my driver's test swore that I did not look when I did my 3-point turn. I looked, but I wasn't. What I should have done when I looked was be very overt with, turning my head and making a big scene out of looking. But I looked. So I still feel like I should have gotten 100% on that driver's test. But, whatever. Maybe they don't give out 100%. I don't know. If any of you watching this have gotten 100% on your driver's test, let me know. But I was mad because, I thought I did great. So anyways, got my driver's license that day. I looked super happy in my photo. I loved my photo from high school when I got my driver's license for the first time. And I even put down my real weight at that time, 195 pounds. I didn't want to be one of those that lied about my weight. Of course, now, I'm nowhere near that weight. It would be great to get back down to that weight, actually. But yeah, so got my driver's license. My dad and mom took me to the car dealership, and I really, really, really wanted a brand new car. And so I had my eye on a Nissan. I think it was a Nissan Sentra. We went to a Nissan dealership, I want to say. And I had my eye on a Nissan Sentra, I want to say. So, not the best out of those cars. But my dad ended up picking my car for me. It was a used 1993 Nissan Altima. And actually, I ended up growing really loving that car because it had this speedometer that like reflected onto the windshield. So you don't even have to look down to see what speed you're going. It was like reflected on the windshield while you were driving. And so I loved it. And I was off feeling myself like in that car. Like I got custom made license plate, not license plates, but license plate holders that said Pachi Girl's tight ass car. Because in high school, I deemed myself Pachi Girl. Pachi is, I want to say it meant chubby. Pachi was kind of like a spin-off of Pachaco. So for those of you guys that are Sanrio fans, Pachaco is the dog. They retired that character, but he's still my favorite. I'll show you really quick. That's Pachaco. And so I was Pachi Girl. So I had a license plate holder that said that for the longest time, like a dummy, you know, whatever. But I love that car. But my very first car that I had driven was I want to say it was a 1993 as well, a Camry. And I also had driven, my dad had I think it was a 1979 Chevy Malibu. And so those are all the different cars I drove back in the day. But yeah, it was because of my friends, Elizabeth, Lindsay, Aaron, they talked a lot too. So, and Lily, can't forget Lily. They talked a lot, and so I had to keep up. I had to keep up, so I ended up being way more talkative and all that. I also, in high school, I had the choice of an elective. They were making changes to my high school at that time where the juniors and seniors were no longer allowed to go off campus for lunch, which I thought was absurd. How could it be that when it came my turn to be able to go off campus, they decided to make changes to the rules? I was not having that. So originally I was debating between taking automotive class, learning how to fix cars, which I thought would be really cool and really helpful in life. But because of the whole not being able to go off campus for lunch thing, I ended up choosing marketing class because marketing class was held off campus. That's right, off campus at the mall. So you know I was all on board for that. So, but I'm actually glad that I took marketing class because, you know, Miss Rankador, Miss R, was an amazing teacher. She put up with all of our crap. I was I can't even remember what DECA stood for. I was president of our chapter at our school, and we actually got pretty far, Lindsay and I, in marketing class. We got to travel, which was amazing. And we did like a little marketing competitions. And we got pretty far, but sorry, Miss R, if you ever watched this, I'm sorry. Lindsay and I were like partying with some friends that we met, who lived in the Inland Empire, and instead of like really preparing our presentation for the competition, we were mostly partying, and we kind of just winged it a little bit at the competition, but we ended up doing really well, and we placed to the point where all we needed to do was raise money and we would go to Florida to compete. But I got scared because I was like, oh my gosh, like, we didn't even write any of that down. Like, we totally were just winging it. Didn't think that we would win. And so I chickened out. And I was like, no, I'm not going to Florida. Sorry, I can't go. And so I guess if there's anything I regret, it's probably that. But otherwise, you know, it was a lot of fun. I remember our project that we had while in marketing was this little tie stand, this tie kiosk at the mall, and we called it Titanic. Oh my gosh. So, it's like predicting what would happen, right? Titanic. Yes, the business sunk because it was very hard to get, you get high school teenagers who are not being paid. They're only being paid from experience. It was bound to fail, and it's probably a lot my fault, because if I had managed it properly, we probably would have done better than we had. So anyways, I don't even remember how long we ran that little Thai kiosk, but it was fun though, going with Miss R to go pick out the supplies, the ties, like the different ties, and I think we might have gone to go get the name. Like, we had to go register the name and all the stuff. It was like literally going through all the steps of actually owning a business. So I do really appreciate having gone through all that. So that was pretty cool. So yeah. But anyways, yeah, this might be a 3-parter. I just realized that time is just ticking. My bad. But let's work on these hearts really quick. So again, to remind everyone, this is what we're doing. But our interpretation of this as a mixed mani. So, let's see here. Will this actually... Nope, these are too small. So we'll put those away. So I want to be able to have at least 4 hearts, because the cookie has 4 hearts. So we're going to have to cut up strips, and I think I'm going to save the ones I know I'm going to be able to use for a mani later, and then use the strips that I normally don't really use often for my fingers. So these 2 will probably work. And I might not do all of my fingers like that. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see how I feel. I'm going to start off with the ring finger, because that's usually my accent nail when I do manis. And so we'll start off with that one and see how we feel about the rest. Okay, let's start off with this for now. So I want to punch as close to the red and then as close to the pink as possible, so that there's like 2 distinct colors. So let's do that. Then the pink. All right. Oh! Oh no. Oh, good. Here we go. Alright. Here we go. So, alright, here we go. Oh, you know what I realized is that these hearts are going to be way too big to make 4 of them on my fingers. So, I may just have to settle for 2. Because my fingers are not that fat and round, despite me being fat and round. So, yeah. We're just going to have to do 2. So let me do that. Or maybe we do the thumb. It might just have to be 1 heart. Now that I'm looking at it, because look at it. Look at how big those hearts are. And I don't have a hole punch that's smaller. So, boo on that. Okay. Let's just do this. Stop talking. Start placing. Oy vey. It's sticking too much. Okay, let's place that there. And then one of the redder ones. Yeah, it's only going to be 2. I can't justify seeing 3 hearts. It's going to overlap too much. Alright, let's do the other ring finger. Yikes! Yikes! Well, at least this time around I didn't make a huge boo-boo like I did the last Mixed Mani. I swear, like, I couldn't believe myself. But that Mani lasted like the whole week. It didn't even chip until like yesterday after playing basketball. And so I was very happy. Like, if you haven't seen that video or those 2 videos, go check it out. Be mine. I did that, and you'll see what I mean when I make that mistake. But I was able to use a pen and color over part of the mistake, and then I painted over it with a top coat, and it actually, nobody really can tell. And I was able to wear that Mani for like a week. So that was pretty cool. I really liked it a lot. This one, I don't know how long this one's actually going to last. We'll see. Okay. There we go. Okay. Let me really quick throw over the moon over it just to show you guys what I envisioned and have you look at it. Let's see. Alright, so that is what I was looking at and thinking about. Although in execution, it's not as, it doesn't look as much as the photo as I had envisioned it. So I don't know if I'm going to do that with the rest of my nails. I might actually have to call an audible and do something different. But let me show you this. It's supposed to look like that. I don't know. I'm going to have to think about it. So I'm going to end the video here because it's gotten way too long. While I think about it and finish off this mixed mani, I guess if you want to find out what I end up doing, go ahead, follow me on my social media platforms on IG, Facebook. I have my Facebook group, Wendy's Nail Face Studio. And yeah, if you want to purchase Color Street and you don't have a Color Street stylist already, see the link below for my sister-in-law, Carla, and support her. But yeah, I'm going to end it here. I know it's not done, but I have to think about this carefully and just finish it. So until next time, peace.